So today we are gonna talk about how to convert. So it's small tree. So to convert, this is another one of the application of dimensional analysis, which is to convert system of unit from one system to another, from one to another. So let m1 to the power a, l1 to the power b, t1 to the power c, and m2 to the power a, l2 to the power b, t to the power c be dimension of given quantity in first and second system. So we have two systems, which one will be represented as this and the second will be represented as this. Suppose the first system was actually in MKS system, which would mean this will be mass in kgs, length in meter, and time in second. Suppose this was in FPS system, then the mass would be on pound, length will be on foot, and time will be on second. So here first system of units. So it can be of any unit, it can also be of any arbitrary unit, which we will face when we do some questions that will arise, of course, later. So here, so we can write from the principle of measurement, we can say n1 u1 is equals to n2 u2, which is a very important result. So basically what this means is, think about it, let's take 1 kilogram is equals to 1000 grams. If you check it out, 1 and 1000 are not equal technically, and 1 represent n1 and 1000 represent n2 in this case. But due to the units, so u1 being kg and u2 being gram, they are equal when we write 1 kg equals to 1000 gram. Even though 1 and 1000 are not equal, adding the units makes something change. So what does it change? It changes the value of 1 kg, and it changed because kg and gram, because 1 kg equals to 1000 gram. This occurred because of the units. So when talking about a physical quantity, you have to mention the numeric part and the unit as well. So for example, let's take a rod. Suppose I took a rod. If I said the length of, okay, never mind that. If I said the rod is 2, you might be confused, what does that mean? If you had no context, you would have to guess that it means that the name of the rod or is 2, or you could think that the length of the rod is 2 something. But if I said the length of the rod is 2, then you might ask, the length of the rod is 2 what? To centimeter, to kilometer, to meters, to foot. So then I would have to specify more. That's why when we talk about units, talk about physical quantities, we have to express both the numeric value and the units. So I would have to say 2 meters, a rod of length 2 meters, which would mean that this rod is of the length 2 meters. But if I don't state the unit, or if I don't state the numeric part, I will be in big trouble. Basically that's what I'm trying to say. So I can say that this rod is 2 meters, or I can express them in various other ways. I can say that we know that 1 meter is 100 centimeters, so we can say 200 centimeter, or you could say 2000 millimeter. So there are various ways to express the same length and which will be equivalent. So when doing measurement and talking about physical quantities, we must state both the unit as well as the numeric value. So now let's talk about so let's go back again. So we were over, this is of a previous video, the other thing, so don't mind that. So let's see, I'm gonna copy this. You can continue to write from the bottom if you're writing it, but I'm just gonna copy it. So now here, so unit 1, if you remember, we have this is unit 1 and this is unit 2, U1 and U2. So we can write it as N1, so it will be M1A to the power A, L1 to the power B, T1 to the power C equals N2, M2 to the power A, L2 to the power B, T to the power C. So in conclusion, we can write it as this: N2 is equals to N1. So what we are doing is we are taking this and we are dividing it. So we can add the same dimension like this. So I will add the brackets later, okay? So let me just write it first of all. T1, T2. Let me add the brackets now. The brackets. It's supposed to be square brackets, but I'm doing round brackets. Don't mind it. Just think of it as square brackets. So we have this, and they are raised to the power of A, B, and C. So if you see here, you will notice that here N2 is just a number, so it does not have a dimension, and N1 also is a number because M1 by M2 the dimension will cancel out. Similarly, L1 by L2 dimensions cancel out. T1 by T2 the dimension cancel out. That's why the dimension of both LHS and RHS are the same. The only difference is that the number will change because we are doing it by this way. So in the next video we are gonna talk about a few questions that will make it very easy for you to understand how we are converting the units. So this was it for today's video. See you in the next one.